Well, good morning. I am not in my usual spot. So, it's Brian of London, not in London, in Tel Aviv, and not in my usual forest place for Friday morning, but we'll survive. So yesterday, I wrote something on Steemit about an article in the Sunday Times by Andrew Gilligan, who is a journalist who I do actually respect because he's done some good work in the past. He did a lot of work exposing the Islamic takeover of Tower Hamlets, which Tommy also fought, because Tommy and the EDL tried to have a march in Tower Hamlets and were basically banned from marching in Tower Hamlets, not because the police thought that the EDL posed a risk, but because the police told the EDL and kettled them up that that the police could not control the reaction. So it's what's called heckler's veto. In this case, it's more than heckling. It's like if you threaten to kick off, which the Muslims in Tower Hamlets were doing, then you can stop anybody else having their right to freedom. That's the problem with an Islamic takeover. So in this article, which was really instructive, it was in the Sunday Times, and it displays a few of the tricks that the media use. Not necessarily and always outright lies, but leaving stuff out, choosing the wrong stuff to emphasize, just total hit piece. So one of the lines early on in the thing, it says, in a video, I have to read some of this because I want to get it right. In a video with PI News, an obscure German website, he said, I sacked my solicitors because they tried to broker a deal where I apologize and I admit guilt, and then I do that and then I go home. Now, Andrew Gilligan is a reporter for the Times, and he says that PI News is an obscure German website. Well, I've been doing counter-jihad stuff for more than 10 years. I have known about PI News in Germany for more than 10 years. And I don't speak a word of German, so I don't really look at their blog very often. But I have met the guys who founded it. I've met their web development team. And I've had interactions with them going back more than 10 years. I've met one of their writers, came to Israel one time. We sat and had a beer in Mike's place, actually, by the sea, which was a bar that was blown up by two British jihadis, in fact, back in the last Intifada. So I know PI News. I also know that they're not very obscure. And I also thought, I wonder how big their web traffic is these days. And I know from the technical side of things, I know from the guys in Germany, they've had a hell of a tough time because essentially they're trying to talk honestly about Islam. And in Germany, that's largely against the law. So they skirt very close to the law. Their advertising is always being pulled. Their web hosts are being attacked. It's a struggle for them to remain up. But struggle they do. And it turns out that PI News has roughly half the web traffic of the Times of London. Okay? Half. The Times of London is the 256th or something ranked site in the UK. And dear old PI News ranks somewhere around 500 in Germany, below 500 in Germany. It's one of the top 500 sites in Germany. It is huge by any objective standard. So for Andrew Gilligan to write them off and say that they are an obscure German website, it's just a lie. Just a lie, Andrew. And it's a lie born of your inability to do some decent research. Now, you could have just said PI News is the leading counter-jihad website in Germany, but no, you won't. You'll tag it as obscure. Then why is Tommy talking to PI News? Well, he's talking to PI News because he knows that he will not get treated like dirt by them, and he won't have his quotes taken out of context, and he won't have, like Sky News did, a totally made up words put in a headline if he talks to PI News. That's why he talks to them. That's why he won't talk to you at the Times. Perfectly sane and logical when considering what they do. Now, the other thing is, he gave a 15-minute video interview to PI News. I watched the whole thing. I suspect Andrew Gilligan had to watch the whole thing. In that interview, he goes through some very substantive points, similar to what I said in my last video that's been watched very heavily. Thank you very much. It's pleasant to see it getting so many views on Periscope and on YouTube and Facebook. I said in that video that there does seem to be a problem with especially rape gang trials where the predominance of the defendants are Muslim. Those trials are held in secret, either with reporting restrictions or the press just agreeing not to report on them until they're done, then giving only one day's news. Tommy said all of that in this quite long PI News interview. Substantive points, things that actually matter. And what does Andrew Gilligan put in the Sunday Times? A throwaway line that Tommy said that he fired his lawyers. And Tommy misspoke. He didn't misspeak. It's just like, do you care what's the difference between a lawyer, a solicitor, a barrister, a QC? Do you care? I don't care. Very few people care. Tommy doesn't care as much as he should, perhaps. But after his appeal, when you're working at the highest levels of justice in the UK, you need solicitors, lawyers, and then you need a Queen's Counsel, a barrister, that's what it's called, to represent you in the court. Your regular lawyer solicitor is not up to the job of speaking in such a high court. That's how the British is. So you have to hire another person, another £1,000 and just money after money after money. And you have to hire these people to talk for you. So the QC who did his appeal, the barrister who spoke at the appeal, wanted Tommy to plead guilty to the retrial in front of the Recorder of London. And Tommy said, no, I'm not pleading guilty to anything. The charges are crap. So they parted company. I don't know whether you call it firing or the other guy just refused to continue acting. And they found another barrister, which they did. And they had another barrister. Now, Carson Kay with the solicitors all the way through. But the point is, this is obscure legal rubbish. Okay, what was important in the PI News interview was the talk about why rape gang trials are being held in public. But the Sunday Times does not want to publish any of that. So they go into an exposition of calling up the lawyers to try and find out who got sacked. Boring crap. They also did hit stuff about the house that Tommy lives in and his money-raising ability. Frankly, who gives? Okay? Is he doing... I look at it this way. Tommy has gone through hell and he's doing stuff and bringing attention to problems in Britain that nobody else is bringing attention to in the way that he's doing it. He's elevating into the public discourse some absolutely essential problems that Britain needs to get to grips with. That's what he's doing. Now, if you think he's doing a good job at that, if you think he's delivering for you value, if you like his videos, send him some money. Produce his videos. You will be a producer of his videos. Same with me. If anybody wants to go to my Patreon, I mean, it's not life or death here, but if you like my videos, if you value my content, this is the way the world is turning out to working. You help me produce videos if you support me, if you watch them, if you share them, if you even give them to me financially. Same with Tommy. If you share his views, if you think his videos entertain you or inform you or give you any kind of value, give him some value. Send him $5, send him £5. Do it. If you get value, give back value. That's the way I work on the internet today. The old advertising model is broken. You know, I was demonetized on YouTube. I don't really care. I'm not going to try and monetize again. I don't care. I don't want advertising money. If you value this content, show it to me. Share it. Pay me. Whatever you want to do. Don't. If you don't. If you value Tommy's content, pay him. Now, whether he buys a plot of land and builds his own nice house, that was his job, actually. That's, you know, that's what he was doing before all this EDL stuff started. He had tanning salons and he was a builder. He used to renovate houses. That's why when he went to prison for his mortgage fraud thing, at that time he had a number of properties because that was how he was earning his living. I don't begrudge the guy earning a living. I think more people should earn a living. Same with Ezra and Rebel. Fantastic. I'm delighted if they make some money. Because the problem with our side of the movement, the conservative side, is we do not have a George Soros handing out money. Trust me, the money that is there is very hard to get hold of. It's not given out freely because I'm speaking on the side of the we're not a collectivist. We're individualists. They're just, the way it works is we just don't do the whole fundraising thing the way the left does with their massive organizations, Open Society and the Ford Foundation, and these enormous endowments that just hand out money to cultural Marxist leftist crap. That doesn't happen on our side. So if you are watching content producers you value, send them some value any way you can. Sharing is good. Money is great. Do it. And for the Times, Sunday Times, to try and attack Tommy on that front, of course, that's what they do. That's what they do. But just be aware. These are the games that the media are playing all the time. They're leaving out the important stuff. They're highlighting the unimportant stuff. And if you want the truth, you just got to watch videos like mine. You've got to watch Tommy's videos. You've got to become your own expert, because the media will never be your friend and they won't be helping you. Okay, the No Agenda show. I'm going to plug that. I've been listening to it it's just past 11 years. Look up No Agenda podcast with John C. Dvorak and Adam Curry. And they came up with this value for value model and producers. It's an important tip. If you want to understand what the media is actually doing to you every day, watch them. All right. I'm Brian of London. I'm in Israel, Tel Aviv. And have a great weekend, everybody. See you soon.